Zelksprechtens.
Thank you, Stream Deck, for putting me there where I did not want to be. What the fuck? Hello! Oh my god. Don't... Look, I know you don't have your throw command, but that doesn't mean you can just spam something else, okay? Because the make it rain doesn't work like that. It times out after a little bit, so... And I never put a timer on that because I didn't think I would have to put a timer on that, so... I guess I will put a timer on it. I don't just manually stop making it rain. The fucking stream avatars does that. It's got a cooldown on how many stars that you can make, so... let me just... sort that out real quick. Hello, Ghost. What's up? Want some love? You've got food. Sit down. Good boy. Alright, let's see.
Oi!
They will not... There we go. They will stop. Go. Can you fucking behave? Oh my god, everyone is misbehaving today. I will eat you all. Victorious. Where is it? Here it is. You can have one. The rest of them are getting rejected. There you go. Boom. Here's your make it rain. Boom. There. It stopped. I can't do it anymore. So that's what I mean. I'm not intending to be a spoil sport. That's just how it is. Anyway, hello. Hi. Hello to you guys. It's Saturday. Happy Curry Saturday. Sorry I'm late. Only I'm not sorry. I was very busy doing very important things. Trust me. Trust me. I was doing very important things.
3.
3. Ninja, what the fuck? I'll get to you in a second. I will get to you in a second. Let me say my hellos first. Okay, so I'll say my hellos and then we can yap and all that sort of shit. I don't want the chat to go too high up so I can't see everyone's chat anymore. So, hello Goat, congratulations on being voiced. Hello Cal, hello Lychee, hello Clarinets, hello Gem. Hello Vec, I fixed the hoy. Clarinets, thank you for the 185 stream streak. Hello Snowy. Hello Stevie. Stevie, thank you so much for the tier 3 resub. Happy 25 months. Thank you very, very much for that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Enjoy your well-deserved clown emote. Yeah, the command was like... That command's been around for fucking yonks. Hello Ninja. Hello Caps. Hello Normanton. Positive affirmation. It's okay if I'm late. Could throw bits instead. Oh, is that what you were doing? I mean, there's no pistachios because that was also oriented around tits, so I don't know if that was your intention. I'm sorry if your plan was foiled. I do apologize. So, Ninja, thank you regardless for the 1,000 bits. Holy shit. Thank you very much for that. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Longo. Yeah, I know. No one knows. No squealers. No squealers. Did the same thing happen again with the Hoy redeem? Wait, what do you mean? Hoy should work. I literally just fixed it. Hoy! You should be hearing that. I just fixed it. I just needed to refresh the browser source. But yeah, we retired tits. There was an alternative that was suggested to me, but I haven't looked too far into setting it up yet because I'm fucking lazy, okay? Before at the beginning, yeah, I know it broke. I fixed it. Do you think it magically fixed itself? No, things don't... Well, actually, that's a lie. Things do that here. Things break without having anything changed to them, and then they fix without having anything changed to them. So...
3.
What the fuck?! Well, it's a good thing I retired tits because I would be fucking being pelted with 10,000 fucking pistachios. Holy shit, Ninja! I need to know for future reference, will it be coming back if not have a secondary plan? It should be. I just haven't looked too far into it. Fucking Christ on a bike, Ninja! Sorry, that was kind of aggressive. Thank you so much for the 9,000 bits! What the fuck is wrong with you? Thank you! I was gonna do 1,000 per day, but there's no tits. There is no tits. Look. I'm sorry. Tits is just incredibly broken and not worth the hassle and effort. I have to keep pausing every stream to fucking fix it and refund everyone and replay everything. Plus, I want to say that I have actually noticed the lack I feel like I was lagging a lot more often, and now that I don't have it up, it's not, you know, I'm not lagging as much, so I think it freed up a lot more resources than I knew. Regardless, thank you so much, Ninja! You did not have to do that! What the fuck? Thank you so much! That's crazy! Fucking hell! Holy shit! Thank you, thank you. It's very sweet of you. Ninja was doing it for the bit. It was doing it for a few more than the... They were doing it for more than 1 bit. Ray, what? Ray, you were streaming today? What? I would never have known. Welcome in, Raiders. Ray, hello. I hope you enjoyed your stream. Go enjoy the raid video, I guess.
Hello, Raiders. If you feel this stream isn't for you, or you have to leave for other things, don't worry about it. No one's going to chase after you, or hold any grudges. But if you feel like staying, then I hope you enjoy it here.
Hello, my name's Hel. I'm a PI Crow, private investigator by day. Oh, she's dead. Paranormal investigator at night.
Hands off, Gallimar.
That cat just spoke real life words to me. Prego illustrator at sunrises and sunsets. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Alright, I will never do that again. We're fucking gaming. Let's fucking go!
Eat it. Eat this one as well.
Why are you feeding them?
What the fuck is it?
No! Don't inflate my head. Now I don't look as cool. What's wrong with you guys? Hello! Welcome, Raiders! Ray, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a lovely time with your collab and all your dull stuff, therefore, afterwards. Please do feel free to tell us what you got up to. What sort of stuff. Oh, hello there! Okay, bear with me 2 seconds. In fact, you know what? Ray, you know the usual shenanigans. I'm just gonna play the raid video again. Hello, welcome Raiders. Richter, thank you so much for the raid. And a goodbye.
Hello Raiders. If you feel this stream isn't for you, or you have to leave for other things, don't worry about it. No one's going to chase after you, or hold any grudges. But if you feel like staying, then I hope you enjoy it here.
Hello, my name's Hel. I'm a PI Crow, private investigator by day. Oh, she's dead. Paranormal investigator at night.
Hands off, Gallimar.
That cat just spoke real life words to me. Prego illustrator at sunrises and sunsets. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Alright, I will never do that again. We're fucking gaming. Let's fucking go!
Eat it. Eat this one as well.
Why are you feeding them?
What the fuck is it?
No! Me! Yeah! All these things I hate revolve around. We already did the balloon head bit. Don't overuse it. Anyway, hello, welcome Raiders. I guess I will do this joint from Ray and from Richter. Thank you both so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Richter, it says you were doing some software and game development. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. Not my forte. You can feel free to, you know, tell us what exactly you got up to and stuff. I can't promise that I will understand any jargon and stuff, so I do apologize for that. Feel free to explain it as much as you want though. And of course, Ray, you too. Or don't if you don't wanna. Especially if you're working on like software stuff, maybe you want to just, you know, go take a break and shit, that's completely fine as well. Don't feel any obligation to yap to me. But for those of you new here, hello, I'm Hel. I won't do too much yapping myself because the raid video does it for me, but today I literally just started stream, so we're probably gonna yap for a bit, but we are going to be playing Gazillionaire. Gazillionaire is a game I have played before a very long time ago, and we're bringing it back because it was an incentive from the donathon we did. For me to play this fuck-ass game. If you haven't heard of Gazillionaire or don't know what it is, I can't really explain it outside of alien and stocks and stuff, and it sounds complicated, but actually it's just fucking goofy as shit. It's a very old game, I'm pretty sure as well, so yeah. Ray, thank you for the gifted sub to Richter and to the gifted sub to Koro as well. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. I hope you guys enjoy your subs. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Thank you, thank you. Oh dear. That's you little like me. You followed Ray. Oh, that's very sweet of you. You're learning because you're a baby game dev. I mean, everyone's got to start somewhere, right? Thank you for the lyric, Lychee. Best of luck. Again, I'm sorry about the whole situation with the Subaru. Godot. I heard things about that. There was someone else. Ray. No, not Ray. Sorry. I think it was Vec. Vec, if you're still around, I'm pretty sure you were... Yeah, you're also learning Godot. I see. Hello, Tammy! And Asian. Yeah. I'm also new here. Do I add the... Dude, I was talking about that with Winter the other day. Winter used to have a redeem that was like, hi, I'm new here. And I would redeem it every stream, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Maybe I might add that redeem. because I think it's hilarious, honestly. Temmie, thank you for the gift that's up the flare. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Owl the Crow. I get called Owl a lot. I get it because of the brown colorings and whatnot. I got called a wolf dragon once. That was also something. So, you're building a 2D platformer because they're very simple to learn. I see. Looking into a game framework called eByte Engine. No, eBit Engine. Or Golang recently. I don't know what I'm gonna make. Dude, what are these fuck-ass names, actually? You get called an owl by who? That's one timeout gem for like ever, thanks. I'll do a Germa. Ban that guy for 6 million years. You are the owl. I know you're the owl. I'm just saying. I get referred to an owl quite a bit. Temmie, thank you for the 170 stream streak. Owls has weird names. I don't know. Yeah, like, why is it so fucked? So, yeah, no. I'm glad you guys are. I don't know. Getting into game development as a hobby must be a lot of fun. I don't have the drive for anything kind of like that, honestly. I have a feeling a lot of numbers are involved. I'm not very good with numbers. She says that she's going to play fucking gazillionaire in a bit, but... You're supposed to be smarter being a Corvid and all? Well, that's just a stereotype. I don't adhere to stereotypes. Being smart is not my forte. Thought Gazillionaire was the game where you bet on the lives of baby aliens? There's a game like that? Speaking of Python, I watched a Monty Python movie yesterday for the first time. Programming languages are beyond weird. C++ was not made by the same people who made C. C# is a completely different language. JavaScript was only named that because Java was popular. What is going on? Hello, Jerby. How's it going? She just like shiny things 50-50. I mean, who doesn't like fucking shiny things, bro? I need to know about this fucking alien betting game. I like gambling. Gambling with your friends is out. That came out yesterday. So expect to see some of that soon. We do need to make a vote on what we're doing today as well. Whether we're gonna do a short stream or a longer stream. Just as a warning, if we do end up doing like a hangout or anything, we're not doing dolls for. I just don't feel like doing dolls today. I just not feeling it. So, thinks here gambling. Yeah, gambling. I've had it on my wish list for a hot minute. Hear me out because I thought about what I was gonna say is awful out of context. Space Warlord Baby Training Simulator. I have a feeling that if I play that on Twitch, I'm gonna get banned or something. Thank you guys for the level 1 hype train, by the way. I appreciate that. I wonder why. I just don't feel like doing dolls today. Can a crow just have a preference? You're the first thing playing from my brand new speaker. Should I scream? I mean, I have a compressor on, so I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference if I scream or not, but I could let out a very high-pitched kind of girl-esque scream if you like. And then when I was a hot minute. Hello, Meow! Hello, Christian! How's it going? Friday Scrandle, fry your brain? No, Friday Scrandle wasn't that bad, actually. It was actually quite fun. I no longer have to get naked in Final Fantasy XIV to switch classes because I literally just figured out how to save a gear set 100+ hours in. I think I knew how to do that. And I have not put about 100 hours into Final Fantasy. I don't know. I did Main Story questline, that's about it so far. I did a little bit after that too. It's quite easy to get into. No worries, Victor. Thank you so much for the raid. I really do appreciate you trusting your community with me. It means a lot. Get some good rest. Sleep well. I'm okay, thank you for asking. I wanted to do those is strange, like everybody's seen them. I would never see anything. What? Just close my eyes. Just closing my eyes. You just get naked in Final Fantasy 14 on purpose? You know, I can't even dispute that. I've heard a lot about the Final Fantasy 14 community. Alright, let's do a vote. So, basically, what we usually do every Saturday, well, I say every Saturday, it's been a hot minute, but most Saturdays is we vote on what we want to do. Do we want to do a long stream, which is standard, usually 6-hour stream? Or I give you guys the option if you want to do a hangout or a watch along where we do like 3 hours of stream time and then after we go hang out in the Discord, or we do a watch along. At the moment we're doing like Grand Tour stuff. Guys, I really want to do a watch along of Horrible Histories, because it's goated and I'm getting a lot of the content on my timeline and I really want to watch Horrible Histories. But once again, I was like, this would be fun if I did it as a stream thing. So I've been holding out. So, yeah. That's what we do on Saturdays. Most Saturdays. All that I ask is that if you do not care what we do, please do not vote. In fact, I usually have a option where if you just want to vote for the sake of voting, vote that option. Do not vote for something that you're not going to turn up to or that you don't want to do for the sake of voting, because otherwise it's not fair on the other people who actually voted on something that they wanted to do. It skews the votes. It's not cool. So that's all I request of you. You don't have to vote at all if you don't want to. So long stream, short stream, hangout, short stream, watch along, and I just wanted to vote. I don't care. There we go. You got 10 minutes. Do it that way you want. Horrible Histories noted. I really want to watch a fucking Horrible History. Like, actually, let me open my eyes now. I really want to watch it. And I was very aware that there's probably a lot of people whose eyes have not graced what is Horrible Histories. I read like the books as well. I fucking love Horrible Histories. Hello Penguin, how's it going? At some point you might need a vote video. Need a vote video to explain this? You just have the raid video? Oh, maybe I could do that. I'll be like, and let's tune over to Video Hell to explain how the voting is gonna work, how the poll is gonna work, or how Saturday is potentially gonna work. Hello Winter, how's it going? That'd be a good bit. Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? The songs they did were bangers. Absolutely. Put glue in your eyes? No, I see them shut. If you tie, I will vote. I will just pick the other option. If you tie it 3 ways, I don't know what I'll do. I don't know. We'll see. I'll think of something. Maybe we'll take a redeem away or something like that. Mordekaiser Prometheus explains it for you. I don't know the legalities of that. They might fucking come for my ass. So I gambled with friends yesterday, and that shit is 100% a Helen Mods game. Well, it is something I want to play with some friends, so I've had it on my watch list for quite a while. I haven't seen anything from it yet. I just know that I wanna gamble. I was thinking that if we do a long stream today, maybe we could do some Gazillionaire and then also try out Gamble with your friends if the mods or VIPs would like to participate in that. It's on sale right now, so I'm probably gonna gift it to everyone I know. Crodicaiser and Prometheus. Oh, I like Prometheus. Prometheus is a good name. Maybe I should change my fucking league name to that. Because my league name is currently Prometheus. Hello, Rachel. How's it going? Miss Moneybags over here? Brother, it is £5. Your grocery shopping's gonna be like an hour or two. Can you get us some snacks? Everyone, make sure to write to Winter what you want from the shop. It'll be American snacks. It is what it is. Instead of meat, I eat veggies and what? Like something a little sweet, please. Like root beer and Twizzlers. I'm a fucking Twizzler. Scream! Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Moida. Hope you enjoy your stay. What do I want? I don't know what I want. I'll have some Sour Patch Kids. All aboard the Green Titanic. Get all your money. This is a fucking robbery. Eat your cheese and you think of me. Know that being green is hot. Being green is cool. Eat your salad, save the planet. Being green is sexy as fuck. Green is hot. Being green is cool. Eat the salad, save the planet. Being green is sexy as you. Millionaire shortbread. No one saw this coming. You haven't kicked your addiction yet. There's some Takis crisps. I've never tried Takis before. Kirby's absolutely fucking hooked. All the girls go eco if you want your man song longer than a gecko. When you eat your veggies, and if you think of me, little kitty, don't you know that being green is cool? Being green is cool. Eat your salad, save your planet. Guys, if we do the hangout, I don't know what we're gonna do actually, because I genuinely I cannot do the dolls, so we're gonna have to figure something out. Like, you can play some Helldivers or some Overwatch, or maybe even gamble with your friends if it's something you guys are interested in. Playing like hangout games is hard because it's hard for me to decide. Like, I don't know who necessarily just wants to be there and who actually wants to play games. And it's like, well, I have to think of also things that are a lot more accessible because some people don't want to pay for a game they're only going to play once, you know? Being green is cool. Down for gamble with friends? Can I request Gartic if we have enough people? Yeah, we can do party games. Party games are not a problem. It just really depends on how many people are going to participate, because ideally you want at least, for Gartic, you at least want like 6 people to be participating for that. So, hello Drew, how's it going? Always up for stuff? Plus, if Winter is back in time and I can leech off of him, Winter has a fair few Jackbox games, but that's not guaranteed. I'm just joking. I'm not actually gonna fucking leech off of Winter. If Winter wants to go and I don't know what game Winter's addicted to at the moment, play whatever, then it's all good. No worries, Ray. Enjoy your food. But yeah, we can absolutely do party games. Party games is not a problem. The reason I tend to avoid them in general is because you do need like minimum participation of at least like anywhere between like 5 or 6 people at the least. It's possible with 4 people, but it's probably not as fun. You know? The Division 2? What the fuck is that? They weren't open? Aw, that kind of sucks. We play gamble with friends? Okay, well, I tell you what, I won't make any promises, because it does look like Hangout is going to win. I'm not going to make any promises. We'll just have to see what's on the table, depending on who is joining. And I'm telling you, if there's not at least 6 people joining, obviously shit happens and people can't join for whatever reason. But if I don't see at least 6 people joining, I might start shooting everyone. Because if you voted for it and you're not actually going to turn up, it just pisses me off. I'd rather you not vote at all. Thank you for the 20 stream streak, Drew. We'll see. We'll see what's the plan ahead of time. Not ahead of time, at the time. That being said, if you didn't vote for Hangout, it doesn't mean you can't join the Hangout. I should also say that. It would really annoy me if, like, you know, you voted and you didn't actually want to turn up. You just voted for the sake of voting, and then it's like, well, someone actually wanted to do something else, so. Ubisoft third-person looter shooter, like an MMO. The world building is cool, the story's all over the place. Can just turn my brain off and play it. I see, that's fair enough. That is fair enough. Hello, Igor, how's it going? Sorry, I didn't mean to be so harsh with what I said. I get a little passionate sometimes. 70 cases? 4 to 6 packs is 1 case? Wait, can a lot of drinks? What do you mean can a lot of drinks? What is canning a drink? Also, don't feel like you have to, like, say, oh, I want to join, but I can't, and then give me a reason. No one has to be, like, actively RSVPing the Hangout. I just wanted to let it be known that, come on, if you are gonna vote, just make sure it's something you're gonna turn up for. You put drink in a can? What, do they not already come in cans? Is that not like a factory type shit job? No. I'm playing a bit of HOMM, Olden Era. I don't know what that is, I'm sorry. Help us take a register at the start. I mean, kinda. I just say hello. You're not gonna take the register to start Hangouts? Well, I can't see who is voting, so... Maybe I need to start doing the polls in the Discord instead, rather than the Twitch stream. Alright, so we're gonna be doing the Hangout then. Heroes of Might and Magic, Olden Era. Oh, I've heard of that game. Probably only from GameDull, though. Okay, so if we're doing a Hangout, that does mean that I have 2 hours to offer you of gazillionaire, so I should probably start with that as much as I would like to. Just stay here and yap with you guys. We got shit to do. God, this fuck-ass game. It's like uglier than I remembered. Let's go gambling. Gazillionaire is not gambling. Well, it is a little bit of gambling. It's stocks. It's stocks. Obviously I didn't say that I had to win a game of Gazillionaire, just play it, but we'll see what I can get up to. So far so good, I'm glad to hear. What is Heroes of Might and Magic? What type of game is that? Stocks and trading, it is basically gambling. It is basically gambling. We make drinks on a larger scale and we can them. You guys are allowed to do that? Like, just... Like not in a factory setting? Money, money, money. Good. My screen is black. I've broken something. Oh no! As I said, if there are people, I cannot remember how long ago it was I played Gazillionaire. Honestly, originally I felt really bad putting this as an incentive because it is something that I have, you know, played before. I must say all mods look the same. You wouldn't be the first, and you're probably not going to be the last person that confuses what mod is what. It's a turn-based strategy. You walk around on a map of the hero, build up a castle, recruit units, explore and fight your opponents. Pretty much, I see. Full screen mode. There we go. I can't remember if there's music in this game. It's why I invested. I gifted them some. I gifted all of the mods a. I gifted the mods a reactive. I started working some more on my super secret project, guys. I also did some of the doodles, but I will probably post them when I have finished them. Do tell? Well, no, because then it wouldn't be a secret. I ain't got groceries to do. Off with you. We won't tell. Right. And my glasses on. Let's go over here. Right, I cannot remember if there is music in this game. We'll have to see. Oh, that was really loud. Do I need to do the tutorial? I probably need to do the tutorial. It's been a hot minute. What's our company name gonna be? Click on the spaceship you want to purchase. What spaceship do we want? Crow Inc. Sorry, I put Chimp Labs. Something took over me. Thank you for the lit clarinets. Best of luck with work and the canning and stuff. The football? I was like, which one is the football? Do you mean this one? The rugby ball? Click on the ships to make different splinking. It's so loud. Ah, wait, no. Shit. Wait, let me reload this. Oh my god, fuck off. Don't notify. Fuck off. Hello, Hannah. Thank you for the 140 stream streak. How's it going? Alright. Oh, okay. Right. I need to, like... Okay. I need to manually turn it down in the... I need to... Give me a second. Let me... What the fuck? Why did it... Guys, I clicked sound off and it just fucking... It's opened my Steam overlay. I can't fucking get rid of it. Okay, whatever. Let's try this again. Hello, Jaikon. How's it going? I'm glad that you're feeling a wee bit better. Bro, this game is breaking my entire shit. Alright, let me just set this up. I think this is what I used last time. I remember the sound. Hoi! Alright, I think it should be turned down enough. Hello, Rhino! Play Peggle after this? Oh my god, not fucking Peggle. Alright, music-wise, what do we want from the music? Some of them have the same ones, Your Schnoodon, that's the OG. What are you even saying to me right now? Elevator music. Smooth jazz? I don't know if the jazz is it though. What if I put on like a what if I just put this playlist on again? Is that too much? What are we feeling? It's more fitting. You want the hard style? Rename characters? I don't think so. Alright, we'll do this then. We'll do this. Thank you for the 105 stream streak, Jaikon. I hope that your nap was okay. Sorry to see that you didn't sleep too well. Also, don't worry, you don't have to like... There's no set time, people. You don't even have to be here. It's all good. Alright, so... Why does it sound like Among Us? They've all got different, like... So this is like the fastest one, right? What are we gravitating towards? Whaler? Someone wanted the football, the American football. Someone wanted the Whaler. Someone wants the Rock. You guys need to come to a decision on this. A collective decision. What do you guys want? Alright, how's it going? Whaler? That's 2 for the Whaler. You're fine with the whale? People want the... They want this fuck-ass. It's a monster of a ship. It can carry 130... It only has a 2-carb engine. Okay, it requires 6 crew members to operate. Ooh. Let us stream before making all the decisions. I named the ship. I just wanted to give you guys an option to pick the ship. Wah! Mr. Zen, a wealthy and somewhat fickle financier. financier who generously lends you the 100,000 kubars necessary to get your company going. You must pay Mr. Zin 4% interest per week. Mr. Zin wishes you the best of luck on your new venture and hopes he will never have to repossess your ship. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Begin the game with 50,000 in cash and in debt of 100,000 kubais. Click on the getting started button. Okay. Your goal is to build a successful business trading commodities between the 7 planets of Kukubia. To begin with, you must go to the marketplace and buy the commodities which are at a low price. Once your ship is filled with cargo, you are ready to leave. Go to Journey and click on the planet you wish to travel to. When you arrive on a new planet, go to Marketplace. If the market price is higher than the price you paid, you can sell your goods for a profit. So we probably want to buy the Kryptoons, right? And then go back, and then we want to go and travel. I don't know where is.
Help. Help. Help.
I can buy much more than that. Just this is all that they have. Okay. So we are in Hork. Let's go to Quarg. Hello, Guns. How's it going? Wah. Smuggler's Heaven. Okay. Marketplace. You pay 279. We can sell here. We can sell them. Let's go.
Hello, you goober sells cosplay.
We made profit. Hello, Russ. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. Happy 29 months. Thank you. How's it going? But if we split the cargo 50-50 each for better odds of profit, like we just want to look and we want to buy all of this. Everything. We're buying it all. We have the space to buy everything. We're going to also buy this. It's expensive. And then we go back. I think there's like stuff you can do on the planets as well. But I think because this is like the tutorial, maybe not. Because some of the planets you go to refuel. Some of them you can go and have a reading done, if I remember correctly. So let's go to Nosh. Fuck you, Puffer Inc. Because we are slow. Since loan, in order to purchase your spaceship, yeah, it charges 4% interest. So we need to make sure that we pay off at least a wee bit of that. So this is good. We sell here. And ooh, we could wait. We could wait on the gems. Wah. 4% interest per week. We don't have to pay any interest right now. So I don't think there's anything here we want to buy. This is not too bad. Let's go to Vex. Yeah, we're gonna hold on to gems. We're gonna take a risk. Dude, we're so fucking slow! Supply. If the supply is 100%, the commodities are plentiful and the price tends to be low. If the supply is 0, the goods are rare and the price tends to be high. So yes, okay, so this is how we look and see what needs what. So what do we got here? Price range. Oh, the jelly beans. That's good. Gems. Gems are not looking good right now. We can buy more though. Oh wait, they don't have any. Never mind. 42. So supply. We want to go to Nosh. Lava lamps as well. This price is too high for me. Okay, so we're gonna go back to Nosh. This is basically a trading game. Yeah, it's stocks. It's stocks. Okay. So jelly beans. Okay, we can sell them all. This is the best we're gonna get them here. We're gonna buy all of the frog's legs. We could sell the gems. We also need to pay back some loan. We'll do this. Seems like you're having a good time. The gems, Mira, and frog's legs as well. Didn't we just buy the frog's legs? We did. Okay, so we need to go to Mira. Does that have multiplayer? No, it's a big complaint. I think the multiplayer is like couch co-op, maybe. Okay. Okay, that's... Holy fucking shit! We need a faster fucking... okay, what do we want to sell? We want to sell the frog's legs. Boom. And we wanted to sell the... I'm going to sell the gems here. Okay. We buy the jelly beans, I guess. Well, what are we looking for here? You break me down, Slayer wants cantaloupe, oxygen, and X fuels. We could probably... it's not looking great. We can just buy it anyway. We can just buy it anyway. Where did we want to go? Zyle? Oh, here we go. Bro, an industry spy office dealer, they work on your behalf. You pay him 15,000 kubars. He will sabotage your competitors' companies. He assures you as an expert. No. Voyages insurance. You can buy insurance to protect your company's unforeseen disasters. Was that always a thing? I feel like this is new. I feel like we didn't have insurance before. Okay, so we can sell this. This is good.
Great deal.
Great deal. This is huge. Okay.
Great deal.
And this is the best it's probably gonna get, so we'll just sell it there. So what do you have? What do we want to... The moon ferns are looking good. Like, really good, honestly. Probably the best. We'll get the moon ferns. Won't buy insurance just yet. Okay, moon ferns. Who wants moon ferns? Vex does. Okay, we can pay back some more loan. Buy some insurance. And we'll go to... We'll go to Vex. They have a lot of stuff in Vex, so... Let's go. Hello, iTech. How's it going? They did not update a game from 1994 recently just for you? I don't know. I just don't remember being there. Okay, view city. Right. So yeah, you can like view the city now. In 300 BB, Mono Chizo, a failed insurance salesman and amateur explorer, decided it was his destiny to seek out and discover new planets and achieve greatness and glory. He sold his home, bought an ancient 200-ton dairy transport ship, hired a ragtag crew, and headed off the far reaches of Gog. After months of zigzagging across the galaxy, he finally crash-landed on Vex, an uncharted virgin planet, or so he thought. Elated at discovering a lush planet with an abundance of edible vegetation and no dangerous creatures, Mono Chizo proclaimed Vex the capital of Kukubia and himself the de facto king. What Mono Chizo didn't realize was that Vex had already been discovered by the dangerous cult of the Silent Mind Boogers. The silent mind buggers were feared throughout the galaxy for their deadly mental powers and strange eating habits. The mind buggers believed that by eating the brains of intelligent life forms, they could strengthen their own minds. One by one, Monochizo's crew began disappearing. Thinking his crew had gone off to form their own government, Monochizo declared them outlaws and banished them from his kingdom. It wasn't until Monochizo himself was captured and placed in a pot of boiling broth that he realized what was happening. Instead of panicking, Monochizo calmly explained to these brain-eating fanatics they could not possibly have him for dinner because he was king of Kukubia, and all creatures big and small living on Vex were his subjects. The more Monochizo talked, the more the silent mind buggers began to lose their appetites. After all, they believed that eating a madman could cause some serious brain damage. Taking Monochizo out of the pot of boiling broth, the mind buggers told Monochizo that they did not want to eat him and he could go home. The only problem was that Monochizo didn't want to go home. His entire crew was gone and these cannibals were the only ones left on the planet. Much to the mind buggers' dismay, Monochizo moved in with them. The more comfortable Monochizo became, the more he began to boss the silent mind buggers around. As far as Mono was concerned, he was king and they were his subjects. The silent mind buggers wanted to do away with Monochizo, but it was against their religion to kill or in any way harm a living creature whose brain they were not prepared to eat. The silent mind buggers tried to escape several times. They would wait until late at night when Monochizo was asleep, then sneak away to another part of the planet. However, sooner or later, Monochizo would find them. This went on for months until finally the mind buggers decided to bug out altogether. Packing up everything, the silent mind buggers fled Vex. Monochizo remained alone on the planet for the next 130 years until Supreme Commander Bass Nicholson, Emperor Dread's grandfather, and his army landed. When Bass Nicholson heard the story of how Monochizo single-handedly drove the mind buggers from Vex, he took pity on poor Mono and decided to make him the honorary governor of the planet. Like always, Monochizo made himself at home and began ordering everyone around, including Supreme Commander Bass. Within a few months, Bass had become so sick of Monochizo's mandates that he banished Mono from Vex and sent him to the Imperial Mental Institution. As it happens, this is where Monochizo met up with the other infamous historical figure, Sir Lily Slimwagon, whose adventures were described in other sections. Ironically, Vex became the capital of Kukubia, as Mono had predicted, and to this day a statue of him stands in the courtyard of the governor's palace. As you may have guessed, Kukubians go by the cuckoo clock, which was invented by Monochizo, the first king of Kukubia. Because he had nothing better to do, Monochizo declared that one cuckoo day should equal the time it takes a cup of bull juice to evaporate from a freshly opened bull nut shell, which equals the time it takes light to travel 18.6 billion miles. Holy shit. This is in contrast to typical Earth Day, which equals the time it takes light to travel to 16.07 billion miles. Another unique feature of Kukubian time is that it follows the Nicholsonian timetable as a testament to Emperor Dread Nicholson's supreme ego. If you haven't already noticed, the Kuku calendar begins at the year 0 AB. This is because Emperor Dread decided that was the most important day in history, the day he was born. The AB stands for after the birth of Supreme Commander Dread Nicholson. How many fucking pages? Holy shit. On the same token, any event that occurred before Emperor Dread was born is referred to BB, before the birth. A quick historical overview goes as follows. Bass Nicholson, Emperor Dread's grandfather, ruled Gog from 600 BB till 103 BB. Then Hork Nicholson, Bass's son, took power and ruled from 103 BB to 3 AB when he was assassinated. From 3 AB until 24 AB, there was chaos in the imperial government, and in 24 AB, the military intervened and reinstated Dread Nicholson to the throne. According to our records, you are 23 Kuku years old. Don't worry, most Kukubians live to be well over 500. The date is 139.1400 AB. Your trading company has been in business 9 Kuku weeks. Every time you want to trade commodities between the two planets, it takes approximately 1 Kuku week of your valuable time. On average, you spend between 16 and 48 Kuku hours traveling from one planet to another, and 5 Kuku days conducting business on the planet. One final piece of trivia. Other systems in the galaxy of Gog begin their calendars with the Supreme Commander's wedding day, or the first time the Supreme Commander hunted wild space snakes, or any other day the Supreme Commander deems important. The only problem with this method is that it becomes very confusing when you're traveling from system to system. Fortunately for this game, you will not have to leave the Kukubian solar system. Thank God for that. Okay, right, so what was I here for? Sell these, might as well. Alright, what we got? We're gonna buy all of these. Buy all of these. Oh, I'm full of fucking cargo. Okay, so you know what? I might just buy all of these instead. And then buy some of this. So what have we got? Frog's legs. Hork. Also on Hork, babble seeds. Okay, how much are they here? Not the best. Oh, fuck. Let's just buy some. So we want to go to Hork.
Hey ho, family.
You are stopped by a broken down spaceship flashing a distress signal. You loan him 1100. He promises to pay you back as soon as you... Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's lend it. You come across Iso, a painfully shy monk who disdains material possessions. Pilgrims often seek out Iso for blessings and give her extraordinary sums of money, but Iso has no use for these pieces of paper. Yeah, thank you very much. Holy shit. I'll take that. Okay, cool. You must buy fuel for your spaceship. Yeah, I figured that was going to be something at some point. Alright, let's sell these. Boom.
Great deal.
A great deal indeed. 98 is not the best. But, you know what? Fuck it, why not? We need the space. So... what do we got? At some point, you have to start buying, like, fucking paying your workers and stuff as well. Babble seeds, inherit tonic. Jelly beans and moon ferns. Okay. I'm on Hork right now, 65.80. Ooh! Ooh, jelly beans. Actually, this could be good. You know what? Yeah, I'll buy all your jelly beans, and I will buy all of your moon ferns, please. And we will pay off some more loan. And we are going to go to Nosh. View the city, though. See, this only has 3 pages. This planet, Hork, is named after Emperor Hork Nicholson. Hork Nicholson originally saw this planet as the hub of his propaganda machine. At the time, he was losing control of the Kukubian colonies and was in need of help. The only problem was that Hork Nicholson was not nearly as intelligent as his father, the great Bass Nicholson, and his efforts at regulating all media and cramming political slogans down everyone's throat only made the rebellious colonies even more upset. After Emperor Hork was assassinated by his own cabinet, the entire new realm began to disintegrate. With this collapse came new liberties. For the first time in the Nicholson dynasty, the media had complete freedom of speech. Consequently, Planet Hork began to flourish as a cultural and artistic center. In those few years, the print, TV, and film industries blossomed. It wasn't until the reinstatement of Dread Nicholson to the throne that things began to tighten up again. Today, the media is still much freer than in the time of Emperor Hork, but there are certain lines journalists dare not cross. These regulations, however, have not prevented the planet Hork from retaining its place as media capital of the colonies. It is presently where 90% of Kukubia's films, TV shows, magazines, and newspapers are produced. If a business needs some publicity, Planet Hork is the place to be. Okay, so... we need to go to Nosh, right? You happen across Meeg, a true adolescent technoid who claims to know just about everything. Meeg offers to entirely reprogram your ship's computers, which will allow you to replace one of your crew members with a fully automated system. The entire job will cost you 11,000 kubers and may upset the labor union, but it could save you money in the long run. Fuck yeah. It's successful. Nice. I don't want to sabotage them, though. You must decide when to add new features to the game. Add new feature below, and passengers will be added to the game. Okay. I think we can just go and play the normal game now. I think we got it.
Great deal.
Great deal. I might
Help.
I might just new game it. We'll fucking go novice. Does this do anything? Oh yeah, there's some... Is there any planets we want in particular? I like Nosh. Yeah, but I didn't know if it was just rearranging where the planets were or the actual what planets there were. Okay, Frack is the headquarters of the insurance company, industrial center. Okay, wealthy merchant planet, home to Mr. Zin. Gambler planet! Okay, we definitely need Tilo. Vacation spot. Junkyard. Okay, so definitely... I want Tilo. I want Tilo. I want... Yeah, I think this looks good. That's fine. Okay. Chimp Labs for real. Do we still want the same fuck-ass, slow-ass fucking whale? I guess we will go that. Okay, right. So. We got taxes and shits. Mira is the oldest and most mystical of all planets in Kukabia. The majority of Kukabia's religions have their origin on Mira. You may pay a visit to the renowned grand sages, ask them for a blessing. Yeah! Heatwave and Laura. We gotta be careful of Laura then. Moxie Milk Bath Rituals. Okay. I'm not reading the history, guys. That's fucking 8 pages. Okay, we can pick up some passengers.
Help.
Okay. I can't remember exactly the passenger shit. The warehouse. This is where you can store shit, right? Okay, right. So let's see. Marketplace. Supply. We are on Mira. We got 100 on the diapers. Frog's legs, 93. We want to go to Frack. We want the frog's legs. We want the cantaloupe. Okay. Frog's legs and cantaloupe. We want to go to Frack.
Money, money, money.
Money, money, money. Okay, we're gonna go to Frack. Okay. And we're gonna sell these. Boom.
Great deal.
And we're gonna sell these too. Okay,
Great
fantastic
deal.
start. What do we got on Frack? Polyester, 8% on Mira, and oh shit. Okay, we'll want the lava lamps and the polyester. Okay. Ugh. Okay. I want to pick up the passengers. And we will pay the crew. Oh my fucking god, so many taxes. Mira is going up, which is fine, because that's where we're going now. So we're gonna go to Mira. Oh, I didn't check what we could do at Frack. Uh-oh. Oh, this is where we started. Okay. Okay, this is good. This is also good.
Great deal.
Yeah.
Money, money, money. Money, money.
The crew tax is fucking insane. We'll set this to this. Your passengers advertise for next planet. I don't really care for that right now. Okay, so what have we got here? Hair tonic and diapers. 22% diapers. Diapers is kind of shite. Hair tonic is at 22 on Sty. Sty is fucking not got a lot of stuff, honestly. 15 on this Babble Seeds. Okay, we can go Babble Seeds and hair tonic, I think. What's the I'll buy some insurance. Stock market for who was I looking at? Sty. Well, it's kind of going up. Yeah, up and down. All right. We'll do that then. We will go for the hair tonic, and we will also do some Babble Seeds. We'll buy all the hair tonic first.
Whoa.
Alright, let's see. And we're gonna go to Sty. Why is this insurance so expensive? Holy shit. Alright, okay, this is good.
Whoa.
And this is okay. Oh, the frog's legs. Okay, can we visit the planet? Holy shit. Ask for financial assistance if you're lucky. They may lower the interest rate on your loan. Increase credit limit. Oh, okay. He refuses to help you become even richer than you already are. Oh, fuck. Insider trading. Alright, what we got? We got frog's legs. We got... Holy shit. Okay, we can do this. We can go to Frack. Holy fuck. Let's go. We can probably also... What's Frack looking like stock market wise? Frack is the grey. It's going down. Holy shit. Okay. Buy some gems. Actually, we'll buy some gems. We'll do some investment. We'll buy some gens. Okay, we're going to Frack. An attempt to promote free trade in Kukubian colonies, the Emperor is privatizing government-owned facilities. This week, Dread is auctioning off the ammunition dump on Mira to the highest bidder. Company that buys the facility can charge the company 674 kubars every time they visit Mira. You must put your secret bid. Sure. All the water on your ship. Yeah. Ooh, Hofmeister's getting up to some illegal shit. $12,000? Ah, fuck. Oh, fuck off. Go away. Oh, so many wages. This fucking hunk of a fucking... What did I buy? This. This is...
Great
Get me back some money.
deal.
It's not even have to pay my fucking wages. Okay, pick that up. Jesus wept. Can I have a reduction, please? Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, we need to not go to Nosh. What did I buy? I bought a bunch of gems. We can go to Loro. We can buy some more gems, go to Loro. Okay. What else do we want? To maybe X Fuels if we have the... Oh, they don't have any because they got bought. Thank you for the lurked in. Thank you for the 55 stream streak as well. They got bought. So, Ogle Sand. Could do the Ogle Sand as well. Go to Loro. X Fuels as well. Okay, so buy all this. Buy as much as we fucking can, because we need to take advantage of the fact that... Holy shit. Okay, we're working away at it. We're working away at it. Okay, we're going to... Where are we going in? Loro. What? Interest rate got raised? Oh, fuck off. Jesus Christ. One passenger. Okay, right. This is fine. So we... Okay, that's good.
Great deal.
This is also good. The Ogle Sand could be better. Anywhere needing Ogle Sand? Mira. I think that's because we just bought it all from there, did we not? We can buy all the polyester. Take that somewhere. Pick up the passenger. Maybe I need to set the ticket price lower.
Money.
We're getting it down. We're getting it down. Okay. The Pleasure Planet. Yeah, sure. Enjoy your vacation. What a fucking banger. Okay, so we just bought all the polyester. We'll want to go to Tylo. We can buy all the babble seeds as well. And it won't be the worst deal. What else you got? Diapers. Cantaloupe. We'll buy some of that too. Why the fuck not? We're gonna go to... I should check the fucking weather too. Fine. Fine. Okay, right. So we need to go to... Kilo? You'll take some? Thank you. That's for your savings account? Bro, I have no savings. Oh, thank you, Emperor Nicholson. Oh, shit. Nice. We're so fucking slow. This sucks. Alright, need to... Oh, fuel isn't bad here, actually. Right, pick up passengers. Okay, that's huge. Right, sick. Okay. Hello, Jinx. How's it going? Okay. Babble seeds are 0 now. Polyester's 14. Okay, this is good. Great deal.
Great deal.
Yeah. Algo sand is not looking great still. We need to go to mirror for that. There's some other stuff, I suppose. Frack is fucked, bro. What is going on in Frack? Is this the gamble planet? Try gambling! No! We can't even gamble! Fuck, bro. Okay, right. What are we doing here? Oh, insurance.
Nice.
Fuck yeah, look at that shit. Cheap insurance here. Are you focusing? I hope you're having fun. Fucking can't gamble. Sucks. Alright. Okay, so supply. What do we oxygen? Let me look at the news. Weather is good news. Okay, no one cares, right? What do we want? What do we got good in here? The oxygen. We go oxygen frog's legs, maybe. Just go to fucking just buy everything. Jelly beans, fucking diapers. We'll do this. And we'll just go to Mira.
Ooh.
Trade in your 400 ton for 600 ton. It'll cost you 75,000. The Traders Union is willing to cover the cost and raise your credit limit by 25,000 kubars. Oh. Do we invest in this? We haven't paid off. We've got so many loans though. It is more cargo, but to be fair, at the moment, we're not even really filling it. Yeah, okay. 50,000! Whatever. Yeah, okay. Okay. Right, whatever. So broke. This was not a good idea. Alright, it's fine, it's fine. We're gonna sell some stuff. Look at this! Holy shit, the Oggle sand!
Great deal.
Okay, the Oggle sand, that was huge. Babble seeds, 170, not the greatest. Okay, frog's legs. Oh no, frog's legs is... We'll do the jelly beans. Oh. Right, what are we looking at? Mira, frog's legs, because I just sold them all the frog's legs. We take them to Loro? Maybe. What can you do on this? First of all... Okay, fantastic. Weather... Tilo. Okay, we need to not be going around Tilo. Where the fuck did your money go? Chat literally ate it. Chat literally ate it. They ate all my fucking money. Fuel cost is pretty fucking poor here. Shit. What do I have? I have a bunch of frog's legs. Who needs frog's legs? Laurel. Okay, can I buy more from here? No. What is... Just fucking go to Laurel. Fuck it. We're going to Laurel.
Money, money, money.
Money, money, money. Okay, right. We're gonna go to Laurel. We're gonna sell our frog's legs.
Great deal.
Great deal. Okay, what can we buy here? Whipped cream. Whipped cream and cantaloupe. Okay, wait. Whipped cream and cantaloupe. We're gonna buy it all. Everything. Everything you have, please. As much as you have. Hello, Mr. Zen. We're gonna pick up all these passengers. Oh, fucking. I can't afford that. I'm gonna pay back Max. Fuel cost. We're gonna buy fuel. Okay, right. News. Loro. Wait, isn't that where I'm wanting to go? No, that is where I am. Shit. Where do I want to go? I wanted to go to Mira. Thank you for the lyric, Foggy. Blaming us again? You guys made the decision, not me. No, thank you. We are a good, honest living company. Sponsors next production. No, I don't have the money for that. Bro, everyone is just arriving before me. Okay, pick up passengers. Boom. Okay, the passenger stuff is paying off a little bit though. So we wanted to sell our whipped cream here. We'll do that. And we're gonna sell all of the cantaloupe too.
Deal.
Great deal indeed. Supply. Oh, there's like fucking nothing here, bro. Nothing. What do I have? That's not even worth. Okay, right. Fuel cost is. Bro. Okay. Shit. I think we want to go to Loro. Oh, please. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, we'll just go to Loro.
Yeah, I want it.
Yes. Okay. Boom. Pay. Boom. Have a leave too. Okay, that was huge. Okay, right. Fuel price is insane. We're gonna buy fuel here. What do we have? Whipped cream. We want to buy the whipped cream. We want to buy the moon ferns. We could go back to Mira. Whipped cream, moon fern. How much do you have? Quite a bit, actually. Holy shit. We're just gonna go to Mira.
Hey ho, family.
You loan him. Sure.
Hey ho, family.
Holy shit, let's go! Holy fuck! It paid off. Being a good person paid off.
Money.
Okay, yeah, I know. Right, we want to sell this. Moon ferns, what is it looking like? We want to sell it here. What else did it want? Kryptons? Oh, we don't have any of them. That's on what do you have a lot of? Fucking nothing. Hair tonic, I guess. Hair tonic and babble seeds, maybe?
Whoa.
Like, oh, there's so many passengers. Right, we're setting a ticket price to fucking 1,500 now. Fuel is not too great. We need to pay off some of the loan. We need to pay our taxes. Insurance is fucking expensive, bro. Yeah, let's go. News. Weather, we're looking good. Okay, so we are going to Sty. Welcome back, Russ. Your company is struggling to make a profit and your crew is afraid of losing their jobs. They reluctantly agree to forget about any money you owe them. Let's go! Yes! Fuck! Okay, right. We're gonna pick up passengers. Boom. Fuel cost is a bit shit. Please, 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 please. Okay, never mind. Welcome back, Lychee. I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, you were looking to, get rid of it, I suppose. So I'm glad you were able to find something, to do that. But I am sorry, that fucking sucks. That sucks. Make sure to treat yourself to something really nice, okay? I know longer. Oh, Mr. Zen, fucking shit all. I'm gonna pay for some insurance. We're fucking. We're doing it. Oh yeah, I can put shit in the warehouse. Is the warehouse like fucking country dependent? Ooh, Stite is like. Okay, right. Hair tonic.
Whoa. Great
Wow.
deal. Great deal.
Great deal. I just want to get rid of this fucking oxygen at this point. Oh, buy all of the jelly beans. We'll buy all of the frog's legs. Well, as much as we fucking can, I suppose. Frog's legs and jelly beans. Mirror. Kryptons. Oh, fuck. Was it Kryptons and jelly beans? Okay, fuck the frog's legs. I'm gonna buy these. And we're gonna go over to... I did the special, okay. We're gonna go over to Mira. We keep having to pay this fuck bastard. There we go. It's for the best. You need to start bank maxing? Bro, how'd I do that? Oh, right.
Good.
Good. Wait, no, I need to withdraw some. Okay. Right, so... Sell all the jelly beans.
Great deal.
Good. I forgot the bank was a thing that existed. This is good too. That's huge, actually. I'm gonna get rid of the fucking oxygen. Fuck this. Okay, right. What are we looking at here?
Good.
Wait, no, I just want to deposit. There we go.
Good.
Good. Okay, we're gonna pay you.
Money.
Air taxes. Pick up the passengers. Explore the planet. Weather. Nosh. You stay the fuck away from Nosh. Okay, so... Because Nosh needs fucking a bunch of shit. Hair tonic. Sty. Okay. Anything else that you need? In particular, how much hair tonic do you have? A lot.
Whoa.
Holy shit, that's huge. Okay, we're just gonna go to Sty. Radar tower. Oh. We'll go for 70,000. 107. Holy shit, never mind. Fuck me. Lower prices at refueling docks. Okay. That's good. Oh. That's huge. Alright.
Whoa. Great deal.
Great deal indeed. Okay, what have you got? I'll go sand. Fucking noise. I'll go sand and whipped cream. Laura wants the I'll go sand. Anything else? I guess you could buy the exotic as well. Won't make the biggest profit, but...
Money.
Good.
Good. Where are we going? Wait, I should buy the lava lamps while I'm here, at least. Oh no, it's not the lava lamps I need to buy. I'm going to Loro. Hello? No. Bro, I'm so fucking slow! Hello, Brit Boy, how's it going? Yeah, I bought all the doggles, son, I'm pretty sure. Because this is where I was going to sell it all. Oh, the exotic went up!
Deal.
Oh, that's huge! Okay.
Good.
Good. Oh, you'll be fine. I'll pay you on the next one. Okay, wait, what was it saying? Frack. Okay. Diapers. Diapers and oxygen and send it to Nosh. What else have you got that's good? Moon ferns, I suppose. Lava lamps. Ah, fuck it. We'll just fill the rest with lava lamps.
Yeah.
And we still got space. So, moon ferns? No, you already got like a fuck ton. We could do the Kryptons. 40%. I don't have enough money. Okay, right, it's fine. We're going to Nosh. Oh yeah, everyone and their mother fucking beats me. It's fine. Alright, supply. Yeah, diapers, oxygen, Kryptons. Okay, fantastic. Diapers, sell.
Great deal.
Oxygen.
Great deal.
Should have bought some more
Great
Kryptons.
deal.
Money.
Money. Alright, what we got? I also need to start, like... I need to start fucking maybe warehousing a bunch of shit and just selling it at max price I can if I'm not going to there. So, for example, moon ferns and hair tonic. I can buy the hair tonic. Buy all the moon ferns as well. And just put them in the warehouse. I can only put that many in. Lava lamps. Because I want to buy hair tonic and go to Sty. Maybe lava lamps too.
Whoa.
Oh, wait. Holy shit, wait. No, I think I want to... Wait, I'm gonna... How much should I pay? I'm gonna sell these here. I'm gonna sell the rest of these. I'm just gonna take all of the fucking hair tonic.
Whoa.
I'm gonna go to Sty. Nah, we're good. Please. just 20,000.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay. Fuck. Puffer. Shit. Okay. The passengers. Marketplace. Hair tonic. Boom.
Whoa.
Great deal.
Insane. Insane! So if I go to the warehouse, okay, so it's the warehouse at that planet, right? Okay, I can't be bothered fucking with that. What do you have? You have you have so many gems. Yoink. Holy shit.
My name.
You have so many gems. Where do we want to take those? To Mira. Oh, I have to pay that fuck ass thing on Mira too, though. Jelly beans and whipped cream too, though. Let's see what we can buy. Okay, and we'll buy some. We'll do the Cryptoons as well. Why the fuck not? Okay. Pause it max. Fuck! Well, that's not great. That's not great at all. Where am I going, Mira? Ah, fuck this. I'm gonna put, like... 60,000. There we go. Fuck me! They're always outbidding me! These bastards! Fuck. Oh, it's horrible. Alright. But this is okay, because we're gonna now fucking sell these for a butt ton. Let's go, okay? We sell these too. Sell these.
Great deal.
Great deal. Oh, it's rough, bro. You're not ready for warehouse tech? I'm not. Alright, supply. X fuels are insane. Okay, here. We're gonna buy all of the X fuels. And then we're gonna go to Loro. There's no point in us getting the Cryptoons, I don't think. This is just all we can go. Fuck yeah! I'm not fast enough! Everyone's still faster than me! Bro.
Great deal.
Oh, you guys have fucking nothing. Action 74. Oh, I'm stressed. They're gonna get me with the passive income, I know! I feel like I should have started with the fastest ship and just... Because I've gotten more upgrades for fucking increasing the size of my ship than anything else, you know? Ah! Thank you, Nosh. Maybe I need to start advertising and stuff as well.
My name.
Good.
Good. Okay, right. So, I guess I'll just buy all your oxygen. And we'll go to Nosh. And if we advertise... I'm gonna go to Nosh. 200-ton ship upgrade to the highest bidder. Yeah, see what I mean? Sure, why not? Thank you! Okay, fuck me. You need to outbid these by a fuck ton. Okay, that's good. Why is the warehouse locked? Oh, because it's like full of shit. Okay. Let's take them all. Okay.
Great deal.
The oxygen went up. That's huge. Moon ferns. Okay, we need to buy moon ferns, or we need to buy everything. So we'll buy the X fuels. Moon ferns. And cantaloupe. Oh, my fucking cargo is full. Shit.
Good.
Fucking deposit the max. That's fine. So I am going to fucking mirror again. Oh my fucking. I'm not using warehouses. Yay! No, thank you.
My
Mm. Oh, the X. Oh. Oh, they fucked me with this. Yeah, the passengers are listening to this music too. Oh, they fucked me with that. Okay, right. We're just gonna have to sell all of that for space. Oxygen and hair tonic. I'm gonna go to Sty. Ooh, okay. Thank you. I'm just... Fuck it. God fucking damn it. This is horrible. Okay. Wait, they all go fucking goddamn... God damn it.
name.
Good.
Let's frack one back up. Please. Okay. Guess we just have to do yield, buy all of these, and then... What else? Frogs, legs... Maybe umbrellas. We'll go to Loro.
Ooh.
My employees are fucking goated. Yeah! What? No shit! Okay. Well, fucker. Hmm. Wait, Mira, so... What does that mean if... I need to, like... Not buy anything to sell it, Mira, I'm guessing?
Great deal.
Great deal. You know what? Okay, get rid of these. Just get rid of everything. Oxygen is good here. Oxygen and Babel seeds, maybe? What else? Umbrellas? Diapers is probably better. Eh. Okay.
Money.
Good.
Where are we going?
Whoopsie daisy.
My cargo got destroyed! Fucker! What the fuck? Oh. Okay, that's where I am. Right, fantastic. Fantastic fucking news. Oh, the gems, though. Holy shit, the gems. Mira. Okay, I'll go sand too, then. And we'll go to Mira. Whipped cream.
Good.
Good. Right. Fucking fuck it. What? 100,000.
Whoopsie daisy.
Fuck me! What the fuck? I don't even know what to say. Oh my god! It's okay, we can come back from this. We can come back from this. Oh my fucking god! Okay, just buy. I need to buy something. Buy the fucking frog's legs. We're gonna go to Loro. Just fucking deposit
Good.
max. Go to Loro. Oh, thanks. Marketplace. Fucking sell all of these.
deal.
The lava lamps are good. Buy some lava lamps.
Yeah. Money.
That's what I get for not buying insurance. But insurance is fucking expensive, bro. Look at this. I think we'll hold on to the lava lamps for now. Polyester for Tilo or Sty. Polyester and gems. Fuck it. Polyester. We'll do the polyester and we'll buy some gems. And then we will go to Tilo. Please, nothing go wrong. No. Okay. Phenomenal. And I get to pick up a bunch of passengers. Fuel is fucking pennies. Okay, right. Marketplace. Gems. Sell those. Lava lamp. Polyester. It went down a bit. That's fine. We can hold on to the lava lamps. Hair tonic and diapers.
Whoa. Money.
Hi.
Okay, right. We're gambling. Okay. Yes. Fuck!
Bam.
Alright, where are we going? We are going... What did I just buy? I just bought a bunch of shit. What did I buy? Diapers and polyester. I think we're going to Sty. Fucking 100,000 again.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay. Okay, I overbid by a lot again. I don't fucking care. Okay. Right. We just did a fuck ton of investing, that's all. That's it. We just did a fuck ton of investing.
Great deal.
Who was not buddies in the Scooby? Okay. Frog's legs, umbrellas, and we also have like fucking lava lamps. Oh, the frog's legs too, actually. Oh, it went down. I mean, umbrellas is still the lowest here, actually. Oh, the market is looking like shit, guys. Oh, fucking, these soothsayers are scams, bro.
Money.
Buy some more lava lamps, I guess.
Yeah.
Go to Mira and hope that they get fucking... Oh, I do not care. Thank you, employees. No. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, lava lamps. I'm gonna sell them here. Sell these here too. Great deal.
Great deal.
I'm not making a lot of money though. Jelly beans are good here. X fuels are good as well. I might just buy them up while I'm here. Oh, holy shit, okay. Never mind, we'll just buy all the jelly beans. Explore the planet. Boom. And then we go to... I suppose... I forgot to put an advertisement down. Whatever. Lava lamps are good here.
Yeah.
Good.
Fuck it, we just go lava lamps and we'll go to Mira again. Or maybe... Maybe we can go to Nosh. Fuck you guys suck.
Yo.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll never know. Want to go to Lauro. So if we want to go to Lauro, probably buy some cantaloupe too. What's the stock trend looking for Lauro actually? Oh, it's going up.
Ooh.
Okay, that was good. That was good.
Money.
Okay. Polyester is good here. X fuels are fucking insane here too. Buy X fuels, we're gonna buy gems too. We're just gonna go big money. Oh, this is so stressful. Is this novice difficulty? Yeah, I know. I know. But I'm not good with numbers. I'm gonna have a stroop waffle. Right. I would not make it as a trader IRL ever. Okay, what are you looking at here? Probably not. Oh, thank you. Okay.
Money.
Hmm.
Great deal.
Good.
Okay, we don't want to go to frack. That's fine. Frog's legs are looking good. Maybe we go to Laurel and try and get a bunch of the higher stuff again. A fucking frack, of course. Fuck it, we buy it here.
My name.
And we'll go to Nosh.
Hola.
No, thank you. Okay. Right. Let's see. Fantastic.
Great deal.
We can go Moonfriends, we can go Sty. Why is this more expensive now? We'll sell our gems. Ooh, I'll go Sandra's good here. Those are two, and then maybe we can go to Laurel. Maybe we can buy some more gems.
My name.
Good.
Fuck me, the Traders Union suck balls, bro. I need to stop going there. Where do I want to go? I wanted to go to buy some gems. Maybe Laurel. Oh, there's no fuels anymore. Okay. Buy the whipped cream and then maybe go to Mara. Wait, what do I have? I got a bunch of moon ferns too. I sell our toasters.
Great deal.
And we buy... Wait, where do I want to go? Oh, I might go to Frack, actually. Buy the moon ferns, we'll go to Frack. I didn't mean to go to Mira. Whatever. Whatever. We're here now. What's here? What do we have? Oh wait, the ogle sand. You know, I might sell it here. Go back to Frack, get some more.
Great deal.
My name.
Wait, wait, I wanna go to Frack to get the ogle sand. So maybe buy some oxygen.
Good.
Or can we actually go to Frack this time? More investments.
Ooh.
Holy shit, that's a cheap upgrade. Fuck yeah. Okay, okay. So many rich relatives are dying. Trading Corp made their first mill. Fuck. Okay. Oh, sick? Okay. That's insane.
Money, money, money.
Money, money, money. Okay, what did I come here? Oh, holy shit. I wanted to come and buy some ogles. Fucking gems, actually. I'm buying fucking gems. Holy shit. What do I have? Moonferns. I'm gonna sell the moonferns.
Great deal.
Oxygen. We're gonna sell the oxygen too.
Great deal.
And then we are gonna buy... Oh, these guys have fucking nothing of it. Gems, X fuels. We're gonna fucking buy everything. Gems. We can buy your X fuels. Wait. Wait, is this like... Am I misreading this? But they have a lot of it, but why is it expensive? Oh wait, the shares! Oh, I wasn't buying any shares either. I forgot about that. Wait, I'm so confused. Why is everything so expensive on Frack? Dude, Frack is in the fucking shitter. I'm gonna buy... wait. Am I misreading something? I don't want to buy anything from here. Fuck this. I will buy some shares though. Fuck it. Let's buy some shares. Let's buy 2 shares. We got 2 shares of Frack. Okay. Where do I want to go? Probably gonna go to Nosh. Bro, fuck these guys! So many frog's legs. Okay, I bought the exotic. We can probably go to to sell that. Pick up the passengers. Advertise. Stock market. We're at Nosh right now. Let's buy some from Nosh too. Why the fuck not? Okay. So I want to go to...
Ooh.
It's like, you're not using the fucking warehouse, so we're gonna just fucking buff it anyway.
Money.
Wait, is that... No. Okay, right. Supply... Okay, exotic. Fucking boom.
Great deal.
And I also wanted to sell the frog's legs. Boom.
Great deal.
Oh, Jesus. Let's buy some stock. I'm sure we'll just let that sit there and stew for a bit, you know. Whipped cream, we go to Nosh, then we buy more exotic. Okay. Ooh, we want to sell all the fucking whipped cream. I don't care. I want all of the exotic, please. What else you got? All of your lava lamps too? All of your fucking polyester. I'll take it all. Advertise for next fucking planet. Stock market. Oh, it's just going down, bro. Pay the crew. Pay the taxes. Insurance is fucking insane right now. Wait, it didn't actually fill up my thing, whatever. Okay, so we want to go to... Dye. What else did I buy? Polyester and lava lamps. Polyester. Lava lamps. We could go to Sty, sell the lava lamps and the exotic, and yeah, we'll just go to Sty.
Money.
Great deal.
The polyester went up.
Great
That's huge.
deal.
Okay. Do I have stocks on Sty? Tilo exchange plummeted this week? Holy shit. I don't think I bought anything in Tilo, right? Ooh, I should buy some. Holy shit, frack is going up. Nosh is still going down. Laura is going up. Holy shit, that's crazy. Unlucky Tilo, guys. Alright, what are we looking at here? We could buy- oh, look at the fucking X Fuels! It's crazy! Give me all of those. Make sure we've advertised. Where do you want to go for the X Fuels? Nosh. We could buy some whipped cream to fill up the rest. What do we want to buy from Nosh? Do we want to buy anything from Nosh? We could buy the exotic from Nosh. And the polyester too, maybe. Okay, so we can go to Nosh. Fucking unions suck, bro. I didn't mean to do that. No, frack's going up. I'm gonna keep that. Fuck you. Fuel. Okay. Passengers. Marketplace. X fuels. Sell them. Boom.
Deal.
We can buy some more lava lamps here. We're gonna sell all our whipped cream too.
Deal.
We'll buy some exotic too. Actually, I might just commit to the. I might just commit to the lava lamps here.
Yeah.
That's a lot of lava lamps. Okay, we're gonna do that. Pay our taxes. Explore the planet. There's no point in that. I'm full on fuel. Stock market. Show not. Buy some more shares. Why the fuck not? And then we deposit max. And then we're gonna go to sell the lava lamps. You're gonna go to Tilo because their stocks are fucking plummeting. Fuck it! Why the fuck not? Fuck the dog. No. What the fuck? That was almost really quiet. Oh, we're so close. What the fuck, Stevie? Hold the fucking phone. What the fuck was that all about? What? What do you mean, what? You made my heart nearly fall out my arse then because I thought I misread it. And that's not the name that I saw. It was definitely the name that I fucking saw. What'd he do? He knows what he did. Thank you so much! I thought that I misread the name. I was like, I felt so bad. I was like, oh wait, never mind. Thank you! You don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. That's very sweet of you. Thank you very much for that. Holy crap. That's insane. Thank you, thank you. There's a bunch of tools and also the fucking journal that I put on there for the detective streams. Holy shit. If it helps, of course it does. It helps in a considerable amount. Thank you very, very much. You did not have to do that. It's very sweet of you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Oh, it's fucking 7. Alright, shit. What do we do here? Because we didn't finish our run. Did I save it all? I should probably save eventually. Croshiba. What the fuck? Was that like the fucking file that I played on all those years ago? Holy shit, it's still there? That's crazy. Alright, well, let's fucking see here. What was he doing here? I could sell the lava lamps. Yeah. What did we vote for? We're doing a hangout. We're doing a hangout. I could probably sell the lava lamps. You know what? I'll do this. Do this. Advertise. Explore the planet. Try gambling. Yes. Fuck. Stock market. Okay, frack is going up. Nauseous fucking plummeting. It's eventually gonna go up. It has to go up eventually. Alright. Okay. What I'll probably do then is I'll probably have to call it here for the day. because I did say that we did vote. Nothing to do with me. We voted on doing a hangout. So, let's see. Basically, that just means that we're gonna go and hang out in the Discord. We're not gonna do the dolls today. We're gonna have to figure out what we're doing, but we'll see what Just so you guys know, if you want to come to the hangout but you don't actively want to participate in a game or participate in talking, no one has to use their mic, no one has to be actively playing anything. It is completely fine. We just fucking do what we do. But yeah, okay. So I'll be ending stream here for the day. But if you could stick around for just a wee bit longer, as always, I would like to raid out into someone because it makes their day seeing your faces and you get some channel points for doing so. In fact, we can probably go say hello to Phantomy today. I don't often get to raid Phantomy, but Phantomy is streaming some Stone Shard. Phantomy is always very fun to watch. So we will go say hello to Phantomy today. All right. Boom. So, I do not have a raid message. I don't really do raid messages, but if you'd like to pop a hello in the chat, ask him how he's doing. I'm sure he'd really appreciate that. Just be on your best behavior regardless, thank you. I do have every intention of streaming tomorrow. I'm not sure what we'll do. Maybe we'll do some more gazillionaire. We'll see. We'll see. See if we can finish this run. Or I might never revisit this fucking game again. Who knows? If anything changes ahead of time, I'll let you guys know in the Discord. But thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. The company was very nice. What the fuck? The company was very nice, so thank you guys so much for that. Thank you to my chatters. Thank you to my lurkers. Thank you to anyone that came by in any of the raids today who decided to stick around and give me a chance. It means a lot to me. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I hope you guys had fun watching me fucking lose my mind over alien stocks. You learned a lot. Oh, I was able to teach you guys about trading and shit and what is it, Wall Street type shit or whatever. Anyway, you guys have a lovely rest of your morning, noon, or night, wherever you are. Take plenty good care of yourselves. Try your best as always, and I will hopefully, if not seeing you in a few minutes, I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Alright. Goodbye.